It's possible that the reason that you don't have all of the information is this: that if you knew the full plan, you would trust that plan more than you trust God. Welcome to Thank God It's Monday. I'm your host, Eric Twiggs. Joining me is Ted Fells, and we are the Digital Dudes. And today, our theme is all about doing something else instead of waiting for perfection, waiting for that perfect time, waiting to have your business cards perfect, waiting to have your website perfect. This idea of perfection. And what I said at the open came from one of our guests on the 30-Minute Hour podcast. Her name is Gianna Ramani. It was episode number 219 on May the 23rd, where she made that statement. And I thought it was profound. She said she got it somewhere. I thought it was profound, and it really gives you some additional insight on this whole perfection thing that everybody seems to struggle with. Now, I want to present to you the Navy SEAL solution for your desire to your desire for perfection. You know, that desire where you need to know everything and have all the information before you can take the next step. You know how you're doing research, you need to find out all this stuff before you can move. So here's the Navy SEAL solution. And I have colleagues that are in the Navy or have gone through the Navy SEAL program with some of that leadership training. And one of the things they teach you is to take action when you don't have perfect information. Matter of fact, they call it taking action on imperfect information. And what they've discovered is that best case scenario, you're going to have 70% of what you need to know. You're almost never going to know 100, especially if it's something that's a game changer, if it's something aspirational, if it's a dream you're pursuing, you're not going to have 100% of the details. So we must get good at taking action when we have imperfect information. And the simplest way to start is to look at your environment. Look at someone who is already doing what it is that you want to do. What can you model? Can you set up that could be a step. Talking to that individual. What are they doing that you could do as well? And that's the first step. And then often when you take that first step, the next step becomes available. And before you know it, you're at your goal. And if you can get out of this habit of needing perfect information and take that next step, you'll be positioned to shout, "Thank God it's Monday." So Ted, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, perfect information. It would always be good to if you had if you already knew what the end result's going to be, and and you already know what's behind curtain number 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, but unfortunately, like you said, that's not the case. I mean, there's always going to be some unknowns, right? So so you take what you have from your experience, whatever research you have, and and move forward to the best of your ability. I mean, that's all you can do, and everything is going to be a continuous learning process, right? As you go through it, right? You're going to still be learning stuff and doing some things differently, but if you're waiting on it to be, for you to know everything and for it to be, you'll never move, right? You'll never move because you'll always be like, oh, what about this? There's always going to be a what about this, right? There's always going to be a what about this. At some point, you have to move, and so you take what information that you have, your experience that you have, and and have faith that you're moving in the right direction, and then know that it's always, things are always there's always room for continuous improvement, and you can improve, right? You think about sports, we've talked about that. Some of the best coaches are those that can make in-game adjustments.
Yes.
Right. So you need to be thinking about some in-game adjustments. What do you do in-game? If you go in there and you went in there with one plan, and you're a boxer and you get punched in the face and you wasn't expecting that. And he hit that hard. You better be able to come up with some in-game adjustments, especially if you didn't know he had that much power with his left. What are you gonna do? Or keep getting clubbed with that left hand? So making in-game adjustments are key to anything that you do.
And I'm glad you brought that up because we're almost at halftime for 2023, right? So there's some people that had this perfect plan for how the year was going to go out. So you need to look, where are you in relationship to your goals, and what adjustments do you need to make? Because sometimes you do things with the best intention, but maybe that's not the right tactic, or maybe that's not the right strategy. So is it time to, instead of waiting on perfection, is it time to, like you said, maybe I need to make an adjustment? I mean, you look at with the team, the Miami Heat, perfect example, right? They lost the first game. They came back, they changed the lineup. They changed the way they played defense, and they surprised everybody by winning the second game. Yeah, and that's why that coach is probably going to the Hall of Fame, because he makes great adjustments. So that's the key. And don't focus on perfection. What's the next step that you can take? And then when you take the next step, and even if it doesn't work like you thought, you have the opportunity to make the adjustment. All right. And if you do that, you'll be positioned to shout, "Thank God it's Monday." And that's our time for this week. And until next time, have a great one.